Welcome everybody to a Marvel discussion video with Technician. I'm Emory, a videographer, and today we have with us.
I'm Tristan, and I am the assistant sports editor this year at Technician.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I am the video editor at Technician this year.
So, first question is, what was y'all's favorite part or twist of WandaVision?
I really liked seeing Evan Peters show up at the door. I thought it was going to take us in a direction that I was surprised by, because I'm a really big fan of some of the Fox movies. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but X-Men Days of Future Past and First Class were both really good. And I was really excited to see him. That didn't turn out well, but it was pretty cool to see originally, at least.
Yeah, bouncing off of what Tristan said, I was excited too because I was like, "Oh my gosh, are they finally bringing X-Men into this?" I was like, "Oh my goodness!" But then at the end, he's like a whole nother person. I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was like gonna bring together not only like the multiverse, but the X-Men universe that I feel like started Marvel in a way because that was like the first Marvel movies other than the original Spider-Man that, you know, gained popularity. But other than that, I mean, I think my favorite twist or episode would have to be the eighth one when they go back and we see kind of her backstory and what led up to that point of her creating Westville and everything. So that was my favorite.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with y'all. I was really excited to see Evan Peters in it, and I'm hoping they'll bring X-Men into Doctor Strange, but we're hoping for that. But I would say my favorite part was the Agatha All Along song and that whole twist. Because we knew
Yeah,
it was coming because they've been hinting at it, but it was just they just did it so well.
yeah, I agree. It was really good.
Yeah, the song's about
What do y'all think's gonna happen with
Uh,
Vision?
in the comics, he turns white a few times, and he's emotionless, I guess, several times. And there's some pretty cool comics where he dissociates from his children and from Wanda. So I feel like in one way it was like a way to bring Vision back, but I'm also curious to see they credited James Spader on IMDb for voicing Ultron. So I'm wondering if a part of Ultron is in Vision's body, because that would be really cool, I think.
so I watched little YouTube videos and I've watched one where Elizabeth Olsen herself goes over her character as well as Vision. And so what Tristan is saying is correct about the white Vision. He is basically, and you kind of see that at the end where he's kind of like, I only have one objective, and that's to kill you. And then Vision's like, but I am you. And and he kind of has that sense of, oh, this is like who I am. This is who I love. But he still ends up going back. I still think it's kind of how he was initially made to be a weapon, because that's what was it, shield or sword? I think sword made him to be like a weapon towards Wanda and Vision. So I feel like, he will, between what the other Vision told him, he's gonna feel conflicted in the future. And we might see that.
And going off that too, the Vision on Vision fight scene in the last episode is so good. Like the whole ship of Theseus conversation. I thought that was really well done.
What do y'all think of Billy and Tommy? Do y'all think they are like a part of Wanda, just like her powers, or do you think they're like their own beings?
Yeah, so I think the one that we saw in WandaVision, they're definitely a part of Wanda's powers, because they fade in and in and out of reality alongside her in Vision. But I 100% think that they're going to come back, because in the end credit scene you can hear them yelling. So what I think she's doing at the end is she's looking through the multiverse for people that look like Evan Peters and Billy and Tommy. So I think that they're going to come back for sure, because they're going to be part of the Young Avengers, I think. And I really think that they're like setting that up because Hawkeye is going to have like the younger Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. And then we've already seen Cassie Lang in Ant-Man. She becomes a superhero named Stratcher. And then they're talking about in She-Hulk adding a character that can shapeshift, and that's Hulkling, who's another member of the Young Avengers. And then there's been rumors that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier that the younger Captain America Patriot is going to show up. So here's fingers crossed, but it would be really awesome to see the Young Avengers because there's so much. I feel like there's so much more representation with the Young Avengers, especially because, for example, I can't remember which is which. I think Billy is Wiccan in the comics, the one that he's got the magic. I think that's Billy. I could be wrong. I'm not sure which is which, honestly, but one of them is gay and is dating Hulkling in the books, which is really awesome, which is something we haven't really even seen in Marvel yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing like all the representation too.
Okay, I have so many theories on the twins. Not like theories, but like based off of comics in the show. So, we see it set up not only in the show, but let's talk about that end. You hear them, and she's going through, the book. And remember what Agatha said. She said the more she uses her powers, the more like, not only stronger, but like kind of unstable she becomes. Like the less Wanda, she's less Wanda and more Scarlet Witch. And so here's the theory going off of not only the comics, but the show. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been like adding this up since the series started. So we know she has kids, and we know it's Vision and hers, and we know it's kind of like intertwined within Wanda, just how she created Vision, right? Because think about it, Vision's an android, she's a human. Physically that doesn't work. So here is like in like not only the comics, there's like different versions, but I don't remember which version is. Her kids do come back, and I do believe they come back, but at a cost. And here's the thing. So there's like a demon, I believe. I don't remember his name. And like she kind of like has kids with like brings them back through him, I guess. Like he's kind of the dad. I might be saying this wrong, but basically
Mephisto.
Yes. Thank you. I don't remember his name for the life of me. So, but then that also brings us to Doctor Strange, the upcoming one, because that one's going to deal with the multiverse. We know that for a fact. I don't know why I sound like a crazy person when I'm saying this, but, because as she uses this power, she's going to use this powers to bring them back. And I believe she is. And that's going to create probably a crack between Wanda and Scarlet Witch. I think we'll see more of Scarlet Witch come out once the kids arrive, because that's going to take up her power and the more of the evil rather than the good side of it. And then that will cause once she hits the multiverse, Doctor Strange is going to be like, some name right. So it would just intertwine that. And so I think not only them coming back, but that end credit scene at the last episode kind of intertwines what we're about to see in the upcoming movie. And like, I don't know, yeah, in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. So I do agree with Tristan. I have been keeping up with like the Young Avengers, and they have been kind of setting it up since I think Endgame, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And so I think we will see. I hope to see them.
I just want to say one more thing about the Young Avengers because I hope they're going towards that because it would be really cool. And have y'all seen the theory that because Loki's getting his own TV show, that he might lose his powers in the TV show and revert back to a younger age, and that he might be a part of the Young Avengers. And I really hope that happens because that'd be pretty cool.
That would be really cool. I haven't heard that theory yet, but yeah, that happens in the comics, which is interesting. Loki shapeshifts all the time. He actually becomes a woman for a long period of time, and then super evil, which is cool. But yeah.
But that would be cool. A young Loki.
Yeah. Also, if they bring in Iron Lad, that would be cool because in Ant-Man 3, they're gonna have Kang the Conqueror be like the main villain. I don't know if you guys saw that or if you guys watch what's it called? Lovecraft Country. The lead from that is going to be Kang, which is awesome. But the younger version of him is in the Young Avengers.
What do y'all think about the upcoming Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I'm not gonna lie, it looks boring. But I'm intrigued because I always enjoyed watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I just enjoyed them bickering at each other. You know, it's exciting to always see a Marvel TV series, especially coming off of WandaVision, because WandaVision was like when you watch the first episode, you're like, okay. But it escalated as you kept going. So I'm hoping that it will be like that. But I will say I was much more excited for WandaVision than um Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I am intrigued about what Falcon plans to do with, like, I've heard that he kind of has internal conflicts with what he'll do. Like, will he become the next Captain America, or will he stay like being the Falcon, or will he combine it? So I mean, it can go many different ways. I mean, even Bucky might become Captain America um if he decides this ain't for me and hands the shield over. You know, I think I'm much more curious about what he decides to do with Cap's shield. That's what I'm more like I'm excited to see. Like, where do we go from there, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. Actually, I'm a huge fan of a lot of the characters on the side. Baron Zemo is going to be the main villain from Civil War. And he's finally, instead of just being a dude, like he's actually going to get in the costume, the really awesome costume that he has from the books. He's got like a purple mask and everything. So he's really cool. And I think they're going to set up a bunch of things. I don't know what the plot 100% is going to entail, but like, it sounds like they're going to set up the Thunderbolts, which are like kind of like the Suicide Squad, but for Marvel. And uh, you know, General Ross from Civil War, I think, is also maybe going to be in it. And then the main villain is going to be really cool to watch. He's like a fake Captain America. So it's going to be really cool to see, like you were saying, who gets the mantle, because both Bucky and Falcon become Captain America at one point or another. And it's going to be really awesome to see that power dynamic. I think it'll be like a cool rivalry to watch, like aside from just the comedy aspect of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think my favorite part will be the banter between them, just because that's funny and interesting. But yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see what Falcon does, because he's already a superhero, Falcon. So it's like, will he become Captain America?
I think it's gonna be interesting to see how they'll be like after losing. Well, you know, Cap isn't dead, but like he really old. But there is a version in the comics where old Captain America does come back. Let's not forget that. But like I
Yeah,
don't think that's gonna happen. But there is there is a version. There's a lot of different comic variations and versions. And I think out of well, I'm not gonna include the old captain theory. I don't think that's happening. But I think I'm just excited to see which route they take, because there's two different routes, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Bucky especially moves on after not having Cap by his side, because Cap was always his ally throughout these films. No matter what Bucky did, whether in the present or in the past, he always stood up for him. I mean, it was the whole plot behind Civil War, really. So, like, you know, Civil War, Winter Soldier, the whole shebang, you know, Cap was always gonna be there for his homie. But now Cap old and like living his best life. I don't know if Peggy's still around. Oh wait, no, she's not. She dead. Is she? Well, yeah, we saw her funeral. But like, is she still dead?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that pans out. And if you want to get really weird, like you mentioned bringing Captain America back, when he comes back, like back to his youthful state, he becomes a member of Hydra for a while. And there's even a book too where old Captain America gets in like a mech suit and like it's just wild. Like goes and fights Falcon because they're brainwashed, I guess.
Mhm.
That's a whole other thing. But it'd be cool to see him like get in a suit and fight. I don't know.
Next question was to talk about like Doctor Strange, and y'all see that all three Spider-Man have signed on for the movie. So it's like, what do y'all think's gonna happen?
I am keeping my expectations for Spider-Man 3 low, because I read on accident. I read some plot details about the movie, that from a guy that leaked some of the details about Endgame, and it's far different than what people think. I think, but I also don't know if that's true. So, but what I am excited for, and something that I think is going to happen for sure. And I'm not like I would bank like a lot on this. Marvel recently got the rights back to their Netflix characters like Daredevil and Punisher. Spider-Man's going to need a lawyer after Spider-Man 2, and so I think Charlie Cox's Daredevil is going to show up, and that's my theory for Spider-Man 3. And I think we're going to see like some really cool Spider-Man lore. Like I think Green Goblin might be in it, which would be really cool to see. I'm not that one I'm less certain about, but I think like that would be really cool, a really cool setup. And then maybe after Doctor Strange, they do the Spider-Man. Maybe the Spider-Man are in Doctor Strange, or I think Doctor Strange is supposed to be in Spider-Man 3. So there's some interesting things bound to happen.
I do think because, like you said, he'll need a lawyer, especially after the bombshell that was dropped. And I just want to give it up to the one villain that actually went through his plan. He said, "If I die, I got a backup plan, and here it is. I'm gonna out your tail."
Mysterio is a good villain.
He was. He really was. I was just like, I can't even be mad at that. That was a great backup plan. So make it look like Spider-Man did everything wrong. And I was like,
honestly,
Spider-Man, but damn.
Honestly, how did nobody figure it out either? He was literally taking his girlfriend on joyrides around the city. Like, it's so obvious every time he goes, the one school has a club that goes somewhere else. Like, how has no one figured it out yet?
Honestly, no wonder. Like, I mean, MJ figured it out, but she was just like joking around. But like, cause it's like, yeah, especially on the school trip, I feel like it should have been obvious to at least his classmates, because it's like, oh, Peter's not here, but Spider-Man is. So
it happened twice. It happened twice. They went to where'd they go? To Washington, and then they went to London. It happened twice, and no one figured it out. It was the same people too.
It was. They're just like, oh my gosh, what's Spider-Man doing here? Oh my gosh, it's here at the right time, I guess.
Yeah, and the guy in the black suit, not Spider-Man.
Spider Monkey.
Yeah.
Or something. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I think I'm really looking forward to what's to come, because since like the MCU itself has gotten back its rights to most, if not bought them out, but gotten back for the most part, all of their characters. I'm curious what's to like come in the next year or so. I know they have a plan stretched out for years. I saw it, but I am excited to see what's to come, especially with like most people thought it was over after Endgame. Nah, we're just getting started. We're only at the halfway point. There's so much to unpack. There are so many other storylines. You got to figure out a way to bring in the X-Men. Got to figure out a way to bring in Fantastic Four, which I saw they're making another movie. I am a bit like, we see how that goes, because the last one was not good.
It was so bad.
Yeah, it was awful. But it's being directed by the guy that did the first Spider-Man Homecoming, and I think he also did Far From Home. So I have a little bit of optimism.
Just bringing in all these new characters as well, and how they're going to incorporate I'm really excited to see how they incorporate Deadpool. I love Deadpool, like, I really do. So I want to see how he comes to play in the end, especially with the Spider-Man universe.
Okay, well, I don't have any other questions. Do y'all have any closing statements or anything?
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you for having me as well. I enjoy talking about Marvel and talking to other people that enjoy Marvel. Thank you for having us and letting me rant about these theories I've been thinking of. So appreciate it, Emory.
Well, yeah, thank y'all for coming and
Of course.
talking about all of this. Also, are all three of us wearing shirts that are...
Yeah, I have my Iron Fist shirt on.
Yeah.
Look at us. We're just big fans. I mean, we're in the Marvel fandom. It's what we do.